Today I'm going to show you how you can make jewelry out of aluminum foil. So the first thing you're going to need are your supplies. You're going to need some cardboard. You're going to need glue. Going to need yarn or some kind of thread, tape, and then Sharpie markers and scissors. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut out your cardboard. Now this project will happen in two different steps because in order to make a design on your jewelry like I did here, you'll need to glue an image to your cardboard and then let it dry. So that will take some time. I have some already done, so I will show you how to make a full piece. But the first step for you would be to get a piece of cardboard. You could use any cardboard from a cereal box or anything like that. And then you want to cut out the shape that you want your pendant or jewelry to be in. You can use squares, you can use rectangles, you can use circles. Like for example, this is a pendant shape that I will cut into a circle, and I'll just freehand it and make it round, and then as I have it in a more round shape I can make any corrections I need to make. Okay, so this would be my circular shape, and I'm just going to make it more circular. Okay, so this is my circular shape. I would then take my glue and make some sort of design on the cardboard with the glue. So I would make like maybe a star. So I take my glue, and I start making my star shape. Okay, and then you let your image dry. That's the first step. So you make as many of those as you like with your designs, you glue it down, and then you let it dry. When you let it dry, after it's dry, then you're ready for step 2, which is to make your pendant. So here I have a square one and 2 triangular ones with different designs. So my next step is, once I have my dried glue image, is I'm going to take some glue and put it on my pendant over the image so that the tin foil will stay. Okay, so I'm going to take glue and put it on all 3 of these pieces, and then I will glue my tin foil to it. You need to be careful. You want to make sure that you don't get the glue everywhere, but you also want to be gentle when you're using the tin foil because it is very fragile. So I have glue. I'm just going to take a paintbrush and make the glue go around so it's not too gloppy in any one spot. And this is going to help my tin foil stick to the image. And then use my brush for the glue here. Okay, so once I now have everything glued, I take my tin foil and I want to cut it out in a shape that's bigger than the shape that I need. So bigger than this square or those triangles. So I'm just going to make a cut. And then for my triangular ones, I'm just going to do 2 more large triangles. Okay, so with my image, I'm just going to pick which side I want my jewelry to be facing, whichever side I don't. There's a side that's a little bit shinier and a side that's like a little duller or different with its shine. I'm going to take this side, the shinier side, and so that means I'm going to take the duller side and lay it on my cardboard. And this is where you have to begin to be careful and gentle. And what I do is I take a pencil eraser and I just begin to push down on my aluminum foil so that it smooths out. You can use your fingers if your thing is big enough. And you just want to smooth the foil out around your image, around the design that you made, so that you can see it come through the front of your pendant. Now this is a heart-shaped pendant, and you can see the heart shape right there. I then, when I'm ready, I take the rest of the foil, I turn the image over, and I fold it. And since I have a lot of foil right here, I'm just going to cut it off. And then I'm going to use a piece of tape to make sure that it sticks to the back. And this piece is done. When you're done, you might have to go back over it and make sure that you can really see the image that you made with the glue. Okay, I'm going to continue on and cover these two pieces just so you can see the process again. So first I put glue on my piece, then I decide which side of my foil. So I'm going to go, last time was the super shiny side, now I'm going to do the not as shiny side or differently shiny. You place your image down, you put gentle pressure on it using a pencil eraser, and you follow along the shape, smoothing out your foil, trying not to tear it as you go. Okay. That's my second one. It has it's a triangle with a triangle shape. You can see it right there. I'm going to then turn it over, and I'm going to cut off some of this excess because my foil piece is clearly too big. And I'm going to fold it over to the back of the image and then tape it down. So I just start folding it, I'm lining it up with one side. The next side, fold it over. And then I'm going to cut off that little excess piece of foil. And again, I'm going to fold it over the third side. I'm going to cut off the extra foil here and the extra foil here, and use a piece of tape to make sure it sticks. And then my last piece, again, I've cut out my triangle, or I've cut out my piece of foil, And I'm just going to lay the foil or the piece down on the foil. Turn it back over, and then using your pencil or whatever surface you have that can help you smooth it out, I go over the design in the foil, smushing it down. I'm not sure if you can see, but my design is a swoopy line and 2 dots. We will finish this up by cutting off the extra foil and folding down the sides, and then we will tape it. Cut off the excess. So just having completed the ones that we're going to do today, my advice to you is to make a design that has sort of a lot of big open space so that you can really get the foil into those creases. A very complicated design, it will be more difficult. So now the really fun part begins. When everything is foiled up and taped down and glued, get rid of my extra bits. And now you get to choose your markers. So what colors would you like your piece to be? So this is a heart. Normally they are red, so that's what I'm going to do. My inside, interior, it's going to be red. I take my Sharpie and my marker, and I make the inside of my heart red. But I want to also make it pop by having a contrast color or a different color to border my heart. So I'm going to, on the part that's raised, where the glue was on the underside, I'm just going to outline that in purple. And I'm going to go all the way around my heart shape with the purple. And this is my heart-shaped pendant. Now I'm going to take a different color, maybe some blue and some green, and color in my other pendants. So I think I'm going to use, for this one, 2 different greens, like a lighter green and a darker green. I'm going to use a better green than that. And color the outer triangle. And then I'm going to go over the middle or the lines of the triangle with blue. So it's a little darker and the triangle will pop out, hopefully. And that is my triangle pendant. Now, this is the last pendant. This is the one with the more intricate design. So I'm not sure if that's really going to show up. I'm going to try a really light color as the base, yellow, and see what happens. So I'm going to color the whole thing in yellow. Alright, and I've colored the whole thing in yellow. And I'm gonna use, let's say, red to go over the raised parts that stick up and see if what that looks like. This is the one where I said the design was so intricate that I wasn't sure if it was gonna show up, and I don't think it really has that successfully. Okay, it kind of looks like a mask, like two eye sockets for a mask, but there we have it. Now the last part is, and if you're a young craft person, you want to get somebody's assistance, but an older person's assistance, because you're going to use scissors, and you're going to make the holes that you can put your yarn or cord through to make it a pendant. So what I do is I take my scissors, or you get somebody older to take your scissors, and you're just going to poke a hole in the middle of the top of your pendant. So I always make sure that I put down a piece of cardboard so I don't damage whatever table I'm working on. And so I start with a point in the middle, and I just, what I do is I turn the piece that's below, that I'm going through, I just turn it in a circle until I feel like something has gone through. And then I check it and check it and check it. Sometimes you need to pierce it from the back because it's so thick. But eventually you'll get your hole through there. Working very carefully and very slowly because you don't want to cut yourself. And once you have your hole, you then take your yarn. In this case, you could use yarn, or you could use cording. In this case, I'm going to use a blue yarn. And I just pull a length of yarn that I need. Cut it off. And then I feed the yarn from the back through to the front, or vice versa, from the front through to the back, whichever way you can get it through. And you may even need your scissors to poke it through. There we go. And once your string is through, I pull it so that the ends are even. And then I just tie a knot in the top. If you have a 3-hole punch, you can 3-hole punch a hole in this, and that will be perfect. But if not, you can use your scissors. And that's how you make your pendant. So you would just do the same thing for the 2 that are remaining, or other ones that you make. I'll do it one more time. I'll cut off my length of string, and I pick which side I'm going to hang it from. So this is going to be the top of my pendant. And then putting a piece of cardboard underneath so it doesn't damage the table. I take my scissors and I make a hole. And what I do is I take the piece I'm trying to make a hole in, and I move the piece itself until there's a hole. And then I take my string and do it from the back to the front, or the front to the back, however you can get it through. And again, you may need your scissors to help poke it through. So you can grab it and pull it the rest of the way through. And again, I do it so I pull it through till this side is even. And this time, instead of tying a knot, I'm just going to pull all of it through that loop that I made. And there you go. That's how you make pendants from aluminum foil. Good luck.